How's it going, everybody? GN here for Funker Tactical Media Lodge and Get Zone. Today I'm interviewing John Chapman. Who is John Chapman?
My name is Chappy, and I'm a longtime tactical trainer and industry guy. Along with John Spears, I run Forge Tactical. We mostly focus on application as opposed to skills. We do some skills training, but the vast majority of what we do is integrating all the stuff that you learn on the square range into actually applying it to real life.
What does that actually mean to integrate that? Like, give us an example of that, how that happens.
So, for example, somebody takes several pistol classes,
okay,
and they get pretty good with their pistols standing up with cotton ball clouds across impossibly blue skies, and they can shoot little tiny groups. That's cool, but that's not gunfighting. Gunfighting is taking those skills and developing them into procedures for things you're likely to have to do. Fighting around your car, fighting inside of a structure, fighting in a parking lot, in a gas station, whatever it is. We take all those individual skills and show them how to build those into actually creating capabilities for fighting, because it's more than just shooting.
I often hear when people are trying to deconstruct what an instructor is all about, and reading in forums, they always ask, has he ever been in a gunfight? Is there validity to that? Number one, is there anything, if you've been in a gunfight, is there anything from that experience that you can actually pass on to the student?
Yes, but I've only been in a few. Using an individual gunfight as a matrix to build an entire training program around is dangerous. I don't mean dangerous like you're going to get somebody hurt, but dangerous as in your view becomes very narrow, because the mistakes that you made, the circumstances of that fight are so, every gunfight is different. What I try to use my experience to do is create general categories of principles that I needed to, each one I needed to further refine the principles that I was training by. That's what it's valuable for. The other side of that is guys, especially with coming out of the GWOT, there are guys teaching now with hundreds of gunfights. Those guys have a large base from which to draw that experience. So that's extremely important, and that's helped push the training world forward by leaps and bounds over the last 10 years. But using 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 gunfights as a basis to build a curriculum around can be misleading to the instructor.
Understood. Now, you said that you were a long-time firearms instructor. Has there been a moment in your career when what you taught, perhaps in this decade, you don't teach anymore because things change and things evolve, or?
Oh, every time. Every class I teach is different. That's for a couple of reasons. Number one, the classes I teach, I have modules of curriculum, like generally what I teach, but the difference between an instructor and a teacher is an instructor teaches off of a piece of paper. A teacher teaches each individual on the line. So, and that's what I've always striven to do. So every class will be different depending on what the people need that are standing in front of me. This is a constantly evolving discipline. Nothing is ever the same from day to day, much less
how do you present new ideas without seeming like you're sort of innovating for the sake of innovation without actually having a basis on it?
Well, because the trick to that is to, before you teach anything, ask yourself why something needs to be changed. If it does, create whatever new technique, procedure, skill, methodology that you're looking to do, and then it has to be validated.
Does everyone do that?
No.
Tell me how to identify when the person standing in front of me as a student is a good instructor, is a good teacher, or is somebody I should stay away from?
That's a tough one because it's so individualized. There are some general flags. Talking negatively about other instructors is a huge red flag. How they treat the students. Are they overly familiar, or are they overly standoffish? Are they there to teach you, or are they there to impress you? People who demonstrate a lot, more than seems necessary. I don't know if it would be a reason not to train with them again, but perhaps their priorities are messed up. It's such a subtle thing to spot. But what it really boils down to is train with somebody who understands the mission that you are trying to train for. It is incumbent on the student to have a plan that they want to train for. Coming to classes as recreation is cool, but you're not teaching yourself to be a gunfighter, and you shouldn't be under the illusion that you are. The people who are teaching themselves to be gunfighters have a plan. These are the missions I need to accomplish. In order to accomplish these missions, I have to have these capabilities. I need to be able to fight around my car. I need to be able to fight inside of a structure. I need to be able to fight in open by myself. With those capabilities, these are the procedures that I need to know. I need to know one-man CQB. I need to know fighting my way out of my car, etc., and then down into techniques and skills. That will help you identify the instructors that you want to train with them based on reviews, friends, word of mouth, videos that you've watched, etc.
So aside from knowing what my mission is going to be, how do I become a better student?
Turn your ego off. Everyone is a good student who is willing to listen. The thing that I see a lot of students fail to do that I would like them to do is seek more understanding of why they need to learn something or why they're learning a technique. Knowing how to shoot through a windshield on a car is important, but why do you need to know that, and why are you being taught to do it the way you're doing it? Understanding why is very important. Gunfighting is a thinking man's game. If not, you're just panic shooting, basically.
You are still actively instructing?
Yes.
Aside from all the other things that you're doing? Why do you...
I primarily focus on teaching cops. I teach armed citizens as well. They're welcome in almost every one of my classes. Teach some military classes, but I was in the Navy, but I wasn't a combat arms guy, so I focus on what my specialty is, which is law enforcement. I've been a cop my entire career, was a SWAT guy for my entire career. Got a lot of experience doing that. I teach because a lot of the department level instruction that guys get is outdated, and it's important to me. I've been to 42 police funerals and I don't want to go to any more. So that's why I teach. I still teach.
If you can stand in front of all the police officers across the country and you have but 15 seconds to get something across to all of them all at once, what would that be? What would be that one lesson that you just want to pass along?
They are responsible for their training. If you're counting on your department to teach you, you're going to fail. And it's not because your department doesn't like you, it's not because your department's messed up. Their job is to keep the peace, restore order, maintain safety. Training is a secondary task to that mission. Your mission is to do your job as safely and effectively as possible. It is your responsibility to get trained.
So in this social landscape that we live in now, there's a lot of experts online. Anybody can be an expert online. If you could wave a magic wand and change things for the better as far as the social landscape goes, what would you like to see happen?
I would like to see, especially in this community, I would like to see a lot less ego and a lot less talking and a lot more listening. There are hundreds of people teaching, and the vast majority of them are good. They all have something to offer, something different. A lot of it's the same, but they all have something different. I would like to see more people talk less and listen more. The vast majority of people who talk on the internet, no one gives a shit what they think. They're talking to themselves and their ego. I don't talk a lot on the internet because if you want my opinion, you'll come to a course. And that's not that I'm trying to take your money, it's that I'm not trying to give unsolicited opinions to the world to make myself feel better about myself.
Right on. Well, thank you very much. I think that goes across the board as a life lesson. Talk less, listen more. That's right. Yeah. Guys, this has been a very awesome interview for me personally, so I'd like to thank you for taking this time to share information. If people want to know more about you, how do they do that?
They check out forgetactical.com. It's F-O-R-G-E tactical.com. And all of our information is there. You can also find us on Facebook at Forge Tactical LLC.
Right on. Well, again, thank you very much for your time. Guys, Chappy?
Yeah.
For Get Zone, Media Lodge, and Funker Tactical, my name is GN. Thank you guys very much for watching. See you next time.